Let's go into our guest speaker for the day. I am so excited. I just want to thank God for just another day. Lord have mercy. This young man and his beautiful wife hails from Summerfield, South Carolina. As you've heard me say before, whenever I go out there, he will work me to death from sun up to sundown. And that's one reason I really appreciate him and his wife because they will keep me busy. Sun up, sundown, busy. I mean, we go to small towns. The towns are so small. The stop sign says stop. No sign says goodbye. And we'll go in there. We had stopped at gas stations. Nobody spoke English. He went there and talked to people in their language, and they like, oh, sign, won't see the plan. I'm telling you guys, I should have took a camera with me when I traveled with him out there in South Carolina, because you guys will not believe the spots we went to. And I mean, we go all day. He says, you know what? Why stay at a hotel? Stay on my couch. You okay with that? I go, absolutely, man. Ain't the last time, first time I stayed on the couch. Don't you understand? Why stay? You know, because here again, we are busy, and I like that. Folks, I'm telling you, this is your year coming up 2025 if you put your head down and go to work. Without further ado, the great Mr. and Mrs. Evans from South Carolina.
Thank you, Al. Thank you for the warm introduction. It's a crazy time, a crazy year, crazy. A lot of things are going on in the world today, and sometimes you got to recognize where you are ahead of time. Almost anybody that became wealthy worked very, very hard, and all of a sudden everything lined up really straight. When it lined up, you were in the right place at the right time. And so sometimes people think other people are lucky, but they just don't understand the work that had to go in up front. It's crazy how it's just crazy how it works, but it's not. It's very, very predictable. It's very, very predictable. You're going to do a lot of work with not a lot of pay, but all of a sudden here comes that money. That money starts to come because of all the preparation that you've done. Now you're prepared to lead a big team. Now you know what you're doing. Now you're better able to listen. You have the skills to be able to do a presentation, the same presentation that Al does. You're able to do an effective presentation. You have those skills, and not only that, you have always you're starting to attract other people that want to be on your team and want those same skills. So let's go ahead and get started with what we have to do. Let's talk about our unique business. One, we, as you know, have a business that's really odd. We don't sell anything. And one of the reasons that a lot of people don't get started with this business is because of their fear to sell. They just don't like selling. And or they've been told they're not good at it, or they remember they couldn't get rid of all the donuts when they had to sell when they were in school. They had a class project, they had to get rid of 10 dozen of donuts. They couldn't get rid of one. Their mama wouldn't buy one. And so when they get in, they say, I'm just not good at that. Or they may not feel comfortable interacting with other people. There's a myriad of problems. But when they're comfortable and they see that you can do this business, remember the presentation is very, very important. It's very important, but it's not as important as edification. Edifying the speaker is more important because when you bring your people to the business, when you go out and bring a host of people to the business, and you know people that would get on the business if you told them that they are going to get a presentation by someone else, okay? Someone else. In other words, they know your works, they know all the problems you had, they remember everything, and they simply will probably come to see or hear about Al Thomas, Bill Smith, Joe Sam, Mary Sue. They'll come to hear about someone that's very, very successful. And they really can't see you there because they've been around you all your life and they've seen you drive this car, live in that house, or whatever. And this is just what happens to everybody in the business, everybody. So it's not a youth thing, it's everybody. Now, this is a person I want you to have a lot of faith in. I want you to have a lot of faith in two things. One is the fact that we have services that everybody needs. More than likely, they're paying too much for them. Okay, we're not going to insult them. We're going to tell them that this business is about what services that everybody needs. They got to have it. What attracted me to the business was the fact that I could be in this business, but I was still going to use a cell phone. I could be out of this business, but I was still going to use the internet. I could be uh, thinking about the business, but I still had to pay my security bill. These are bills that everyone has to have. And sometimes we forget that. We forget how special that is. Now, the reason we like it is because these bills are reoccurring. They're not a bill you bought something one time. You bought a bottle of vitamins, you bought some makeup one time, and you just don't need no more, or you forgot you needed it. In this business, every month we pay it over and over and over. So there's trillions of dollars that are spinning like this all the time. It's there all the time. So the question is, why would anybody quit something like that? Because they don't really understand how big the business that they're in. They don't understand how important it is. And all you need, once you got this business up and running, and that's with you and a few customers, and your ability to build an organization and teach. So, why anybody? Because they don't really understand the power of having a slice. You don't need a slice of this pie of this $3 trillion business. You just need to be able to lick the knife. That's all. It's so much money. It's so much money. You don't need to try to get a quarter of this business. You just need a little. Our company's been around. They've made a lot of people very, very wealthy because they stuck with it. They stayed with it. And those people were able to take advantage of the 1% that this company has. 1% of a $3 trillion business that goes on and on and on and on. And of that 1%, you got a percentage of that. And that's enough to make you very, 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 very happy. So that's what we got our hands on. You've already signed up, you paid your money. It was the cheapest thing you ever got into, which is another reason people quit. If a person would quit, because if a business costs $2 million, $500,000 to $100,000, you would build it. If you treated it like a $2 million, $3 million business, you would build it. But because you only threw in $300, $400, $500, sometimes you say, well, I just lost that money. But I'm telling you, this is what you have your hands on. So when you go to talk to other people, sometimes they just don't believe it. And then sometimes I know a lot of people want to get started with something, but they want to get rich tomorrow. They want to decide to get into a business and they need to be rich in what? An hour. If I'm not rich in an hour, I started this new company called SpaceX. I started this new company called Tesla. I started this new company called Ford. I started this new company called Chevrolet. I started this new company called Sears. I opened this new company called Amazon. And 1 hour later, if I'm not rich, I'm ready to close the doors down. I'm gonna shut it down because I tried it, it didn't work. That's not how it works. What we have to do is understand how long it works. The video that I'm gonna show you, a short video I'm gonna show you, is gonna help you to explain to you why it takes a little while. And it's always longer than we think. But right now, you're on the right path to get everything done, and you're under the right tutelage. You're on the right path. You're gonna run into a couple of flat tires. Every now and then, something will not work out right. But you have to understand that you're on the right road. Okay, you're on the right road. And if you understand you're on the right road in the right business, now the question is it the right time? Is it the right time? Now, when I ask that question, I'm gonna ask it in a micro sense. It may not be the right time for a lot of people, and I say that because someone's sick in their family, real sick. Someone just passed away in their family. Someone just got a raise in their family, in their family. They got a big raise. They got a company card. They got a debit card. They got plane tickets. So in their life, everything's going really good right now. And if everything's going really good, it might be hard for somebody to start something new because they don't see the need, the value of starting a business. Because right now, at this moment, everything is going really, really well. You got to just keep dripping on those folks and let them know constantly that you're still in the business through social media or a phone call every 6 months. I'm really, really excited about this business. I want to work this business with you. And if they say no, don't take it personal. If you take it personal, if you take everything personal, you're out of it. You'll be out of it. I'm telling you, don't take it personal. So you have to divorce yourself of the outcome after you've made an offer for them to come take a look at it. All you want them to do is look at it. Remember, if you are trying your hardest to sign them up, that's one thing. But the more eyeballs you can put on this business, the numbers are in your favor. The numbers are in your favor. So what you want to do is simply to have more people looking at the business, more and more looking at the business, and then the right ones will come up. And what you're looking to do over time is to create leaders. That means you replaced yourself. In other words, you replaced yourself. In one leg, you replace yourself. In another leg, you replace yourself. In another leg, you replace yourself. And as that starts to happen, you will see that something called cha-ching, ka-ching every week will start coming to this company. The company doesn't care. That's one thing I like about it. If you're a plant manager at a plant, there's only one plant manager. If you're a superintendent somewhere, sometimes it's one or two superintendent jobs. But in this business, everybody on this call today can be an SVP, and this company could absorb it. Now, it sounds kind of crazy because to be an SVP like Mr. Thomas, we all know that you have to have some volume. But we only got 1% of a $3 trillion company. So that means what? This company can absorb hundreds upon hundreds of new SVPs, thousands upon thousands of new RVP, gold, platinum. This company can absorb it because of the market we're in. So you need to understand the comp plan and understand that you can be at the top of this comp plan and get going. Now, I'll say another thing about multi-level marketing. To put your arms around it and to really understand it, you got to take the journey to SVP. Now, you got to get there. Once you've got the SVP, guess what? You can now officially say you are a multi-level marketing professional, okay? And then what you want in your organization is other what? RVPs and SVPs, okay? That's what you want, other RVPs and SVPs. So let's talk about the goal. The goal is for you to get there, and you have to show other people how to do that. Now, the company does a great job. They have all the training, everything in the back office. I'm not going to go there today. But once you've acquired those skills, and the biggest one I have to say is you got to care about people. And the other one is you got to not care about people, because sometimes you got to leave them alone. Sometimes you got to, Mr. Thomas talks about a lot about, there's the eagles, and the eagles fly way up high. They can see a lot. And then there's chickens that are running around on the ground. And sometimes we're hanging out with the chickens all the time. We're with the chickens all the time. And we don't understand that in order to get to be a SVP and to be able to help a lot of people and have that honor, you have to start learning that you are an eagle. You're prepared to fly. So there's just so much that you learn in this business, more about the business and a lot about who you. You have to learn a lot about who you are. And so one of my mentors, Kenny Trout, always said, look at the man in the mirror. His mama, Nadine, used to tell him all the time, look at the man in the mirror is the problem. If you want to know what the problem is, it's more than likely somebody that you see in the mirror every day. Michael Jackson talks about it, the man in the mirror. We gotta be able to change that person. So who do we want to be? We want to be someone that has the capability to go to other people and ask them to look at the business, okay? And when they go to look at the business, tell them you have a friend that's doing very, very well in the business. I got some of his time on Tuesday night, Thursday night, Wednesday night, and I really want you to look at this business. It'll make a major change in your life like it's made a major change in my life. Can I count on you? And if you can invite people, effective invitation to look at something, then they will be happy to look at it. And they'll really want to look at it if it's going to be somebody else, okay? So those are the things that we start to learn as we come in this business. And I'm just happy that somebody, Mr. Sistron, came behind me and, he actually aggravated me to death about it. He just aggravated me and aggravated me and aggravated me to take a look at multi-level marketing in 1996. And I came to business in 1997. And I'm really happy that I'm a part of this community. I love Porsches. I love them because I started with the Volkswagen because my Roadrunner was burning too much gas. So I'm in the Porsche community really, really heavy. And I like to say I'm in the multi-level marketing community really, really heavy. But now let's talk about success. I'm going to show a video, and I hope I can do it. I hope I got enough bandwidth today to do it. And I'm going to show it twice like I always do. It's a short one. But it's going to show you that sometimes the people that don't believe in you are going to shape your future. And I say that because sometimes they won't help you, but they shape your future, because a lot of times we are so worried about being so hunky-dory with everybody that some of the people that have your last name, some of your children, your mother, your father, your brother, sister, uncle, aunt, are going to discourage you. And they're discouraging you, they say, because of love. They want to help you, and they don't want you to go down a rabbit hole. But in truth, I don't know what you call it. I really don't know what you call it. And so sometimes we have to take an emotional hit from people around us, that emotional hit from people around. If you can take that, and you're strong enough to take that, you have the armor on to take that, you'll be fine in this business. But if you don't have the armor to take it, I'm telling you, you're going to have a short business. And if you stop this and go start something else, they're going to go tell you can't do that. If you go start something else, they're going to tell you can't do that. If you're going to start something else, they're going to tell you can't do that. So I want you to be prepared for the people that have your last name, okay? I want you to be prepared for the people that you know very, very well. Sometimes the people that borrow money from you, I need money because of this or that. Those are the ones that sometimes can tear you down on the front end. I want you to be able to, because you can deal with someone you don't know giving you a hard time, but can you deal with a person that you love and know real well, and they're just telling you need to stop that, you need to stop, and no matter what you do, they're going to tell you that. So let's get on to this video. This is an example of what happens after you made it to the top.
How are you?
I'm busy.
Just need 10 minutes of your time.
You have two.
Just wanted to come here to tell you thank you for loving me. There were times when I doubted myself. Kept working and kept me believing.
We are never getting back together. Okay?
Yeah,
Never.
I know.
So, what is this? You borrow a suit? You come up here and try to impress me? For what?
My battery, it hit. Yeah, I signed a deal. I'm in business with Prescott.
Good for you.
Good for us. I know our divorce is finalized, but I wanted you to have this for everything you've done for me over the years. I don't know of any woman who would have put up with me, loved me, cared for me, believed in me. I don't blame you. Like I said, I started to doubt myself. Just sorry that my dream took so long to come true.
There you are.
Okay, you gave me 2 minutes. I'm sure it's just about up. I love you, Mel. I always will. Oh, I almost forgot. Your mama's house. It's yours again. Might look a little different on the inside because of the last owners, but it's yours.
Alrighty. So that's our families. That's your family. That is your family right there. The same people that were denying him, giving him a hard time before, you think they're going to come in when you make it to the SVP level? No, they won't. That's the essence of what we got to deal with every day. The people around us are going to give us a hard time because that's what people around you do. So if they're doing that, you're on the right path. You're on the right road. And he stayed with it. It was a messy journey. And he said he's sorry because it took so much of what? Time. And what I mean by that, in order to win a lottery, they tell me that to win the lottery, and people do it every day, they take $10, $15 a week and buy tickets. Well, I'm going to tell you this now. They say that the odds of winning the lottery is like getting struck by lightning twice. Now, I never got struck by lightning once. But just imagine getting the odds of winning the lottery is getting struck by lightning twice on the same day. Twice on the same day. So that's what they expect when they get into business. They expect to hit the lottery. And if it doesn't happen in 10 or 15 days, they're done. Now, the co-founders, they've been in the business since 1993. They're going strong. Mr. Thomas, I knew him before he ever heard of ACN. And he built 2 businesses. And it did not take 2 hours. It didn't take an hour and a half. It's a journey. And just enjoy the journey. When one day you'll show up at somebody's party and they're going to be talking about the guy. Out of all of us that worked for 40 years, somebody in our family hit. Somebody's battery hit. And that'll be you. And that'll be because you did the work in the time and the thing worked, because this works. This business works. Sooner or later, somebody's going to come to your group. They won't know you. And they'll put in 100, 200, 300 IBOs a month with a system They'll be running. They'll probably be in another country, but I promise you, there's a good chance they won't have your last name. There's a good chance they won't have your last name.